What if the language that holds your family's memories becomes the language your child understands, but no longer wants to speak?
And what if trying harder accidentally makes speaking it feel like homework?
Welcome to Home in Every Word, the show about family, belonging, and the conversations that connect generations. I'm Lena.
And I'm Marcus. Tonight, how can parents preserve a home language without pressuring their children?
We begin with a parent who moved to the United States as a teenager. English was learned at school. The family language stayed at home.
Now that teenager is a parent. The older child understands the home language, but usually answers in English. The younger child enjoys songs, short stories, and video calls with grandparents.
The parent first corrected every mistake out of concern that the language might be lost. But speaking began to feel like a test, and one child became shy.
So the family changed the goal. Not perfect grammar, connection. They started using one phrase at dinner, a short bedtime story, family recipes, and easy conversations with relatives.
That gives us tonight's big idea. Language grows through connection, not just instruction.
Listener question. When your child uses the family language, what feeling do you want attached to it? Fear of being wrong or the comfort of being home?
Let's take our first simulated call. Jordan, you're on the air.
My daughter understands almost everything I say in our language, but she always answers in English. If I accept that, am I giving up?
Honest question. Lena, what do the source notes suggest?
They suggest that understanding is already a connection, even if speaking has not caught up. Instead of correcting every answer, the parent can keep the exchange moving.
So, if Jordan asks, "Do you want rice?" in the home language, and the child says, "Yes," in English, the conversation does not have to stop.
Exactly. Jordan might warmly repeat the phrase in the home language, then serve dinner and continue talking. That models the words without making the child perform.
So I can invite her to speak without making every meal a quiz?
Yes, one phrase at dinner is manageable. A whole evening with strict language rules may feel heavy. Consistency matters, but so does emotional safety.
Connect the phrase to something she likes, choosing a snack, greeting a grandparent, or picking a story. Then the language has a purpose beyond proving she knows it.
I like that. Less say it correctly and more use it with me.
Beautifully put. Thanks for calling.
A parent can model without interrupting. If every mistake becomes the center of the conversation, the child may remember the embarrassment more than the word.
The change did not mean the language stopped mattering. It meant the relationship mattered enough to change the method.
Let's give listeners a tiny routine to try tonight. Pick one useful phrase, say it naturally in context, repeat it across the week, and welcome any attempt. No scorekeeping.
Then add joy. A family recipe, a funny expression, a song, or a 5-minute story. Children are not only learning vocabulary, they are learning what the language feels like.
Our second simulated caller is Samira. What's on your mind?
I want my son to be proud of our language, but I also know he wants to fit in at school. When he mixes English into a sentence, I correct him because I'm afraid the language will disappear. Am I making it worse?
You are naming two loving concerns: protecting family identity and your child's sense of belonging. The source does not reject correction. It shows that constant correction can create pressure.
Maybe the question is not correction or no correction. Maybe it is when, how, and how often.
Right. If your son is excitedly telling a story, connection may come first. You can respond to what he means and naturally use the missing word in your answer. If he asks for help or you are practicing one chosen phrase, that is a better moment for direct guidance.
And what about school? I don't want him to feel different in a bad way.
The notes recognize that children want to fit in. Families can also ask teachers to value multilingualism as part of the child's background.
At home, pride can stay gentle. Invite your son to teach the family one word. Let him choose a song or call a relative. Give him some ownership instead of making him responsible for preserving an entire heritage by himself.
That takes some weight off both of us.
That is the goal. Language can be important without every conversation becoming a crisis.
Thank you. I'm going to start with our Saturday breakfast recipe and let him choose the words he wants to practice.
Practical, connected, and delicious. Thanks, Samira.
Both callers brought us back to the same tension. Parents are afraid of losing something precious, while children may be afraid of getting something wrong or standing out.
The answer in our source is not a perfect system. It is a different atmosphere. Small routines, real reasons to speak, and fewer moments that feel like tests.
4 ideas. Choose one phrase for a daily routine. Connect language with music, stories, cooking, or relatives. Model corrections naturally, and tell teachers that your child's multilingual background matters.
And notice what is not on that list. Demanding flawless grammar before the child is allowed to enjoy the language.
If your child answers in English today, that is not necessarily the end of the story. Keep offering the family language with patience. Let it be heard in ordinary life. Let it carry jokes, comfort, recipes, and affection.
Progress might sound like one new phrase. It might look like a child staying on a grandparent's video call for 2 extra minutes. Small moments count because connection is built through repetition.
Tonight, we asked how families can preserve a home language without adding pressure. Our answer? Make the language useful, joyful, and emotionally safe. Invite more than you test. Model more than you interrupt. Celebrate connection before perfection.
Try one phrase, one story, or one recipe this week. Then ask yourself, did this bring us closer?
Because a home language is more than a list of correct words.
It is a door, and every gentle conversation helps keep it open.
This has been Home in Every Word. I'm Lena.
And I'm Marcus. Keep talking, keep listening, and make room for every voice in your family.